In the early 90s, a new generation of American tennis players was on the verge of taking the ATP World Tour by storm. Michael Chang was the first of this group to make a real breakthrough by winning the French Open in 1989. The following year, the 20-year-old Andre Agassi, who was known by the slogan of "Image is Everything," was on the doorsteps of following him. By 1990, Agassi had been to the semifinals of the Grand Slam on 3 separate occasions, losing twice to Ivan Lendl and once to Mats Wilander. Lacking the credibility of a major title, Andre entered the French Open that year as a potential dark horse. Once again, he was able to fight his way through the draw, knocking off Jim Courier and the defending champion Michael Chang along the way. His reward was a meeting in the semifinals with the 23-year-old Swede Jonas Svensson. Svensson was a fast-court specialist with a devastatingly powerful serve. He managed to take Andre to 4 sets before eventually succumbing to Agassi's passing shots and superior firepower from the baseline. Svensson put in a credible effort to force a 4th set, but clearly Andre's moment had arrived. He was literally on the doorsteps of winning the French Open, a victory that could have put American tennis back on the map again. Standing in his way was a 30-year-old clay court veteran from Ecuador, Andres Gomez. Borderline retired, Andreas had almost called it quits on his pro career when a sudden decision made by Ivan Lendl to skip the French Open and prepare for Wimbledon changed Gomez's mind and convinced him that he still had a chance to win the French Open if he was willing to put in the hard work to get there. In the months leading into the final, Andre Agassi had made several important changes to the structure of his team, and while many of these were good, like the addition of Gil Reyes as his strength coach, there was one in particular that would prove to be detrimental to him in this match. In his autobiography Open, Andre revealed that his hair was not entirely real, and that he had been wearing a hairpiece to conceal the fact that he was bald. On the night before the final, he accidentally damaged the hairpiece by using the wrong conditioner. With the help of his brother Phil, Andre was able to salvage it to some degree. However, he admitted that he cared less about the outcome of the match than he did about his hairpiece staying on his head. Personally, I've never been able to believe this story, as it's very clear from the match that we're about to see that he did indeed want to win this title. His failure to prepare for this match would affect not only his own career, but also the future of American tennis for decades to come. Apart from the noticeable age gap, Agassi and Gomez had playing styles that were near polar opposite of each other. Andre was a right-handed tennis player with an average serve and one of the best two-handed backhands on the tour. His talent lay in his ability to take a very flat ball and at a possibly short angle. Gomez, on the other hand, was a tall and strong left-hander who could muscle the ball against his opponents. He had some limitations with his one-handed backhand, but on a surface like clay, he was able to compensate for it by moving around and crushing his forehand. Right from the start, you could tell that Gomez was locked in for battle. He showed no signs of vulnerability during the first game of the match, overpowering Agassi with his massive serve. Andre, by comparison, would struggle to hold serve during his opening game, having to fight his way back from a 15-40 deficit. As the first set neared the midway point, neither player looked poised to break their opponent. But suddenly at 3-all, Andre would get his first chance to break Gomez and take an early commanding lead of the match. However, a poor choice in shot selection would erase this opportunity for him and allow Gomez to escape from his peril. Gomez responded by pressuring Agassi in the very next game, and this time, he was successful in breaking serve. Gomez took the break against Agassi by cracking an overhead, and then proceeded to comfortably serve out the first set. Just 26 minutes off the clock, and already Gomez looked to be in complete control of the match. After going down an early break to Gomez at the start of the second set, Andre mounted a ferocious comeback, playing high percentage tennis and aiming to big targets on the court. The tactic worked well, and Gomez began to unravel. Slowly the momentum would shift back in Andre's direction as he broke Gomez time and again. Agassi's return of serve also picked up steam, and he got the Ecuadorian on his heels for the first time in the match. Andre took the second set 6-2, breaking Gomez 4 times in the process. It was an impressive turnaround, and with the match now level at 1-all, the players had begun to settle in and were now producing their highest level of tennis. In the first game of set 3, Andre struggled to make his first serves. Gomez, sensing the lull in his opponent's game, began to step up on his returns, coming into the net whenever possible and doing everything that he could to put pressure on the young American. It worked, and Gomez was able to break for a 1-0 lead. In the following game, Gomez would have some serving problems of his own, but was ultimately able to deny Agassi the chance to get the break back. The players would remain on serve until late in the third set, when Agassi surprisingly struck back at Gomez, seemingly out of nowhere, breaking him to love and leveling the set at 4-all. The next game would prove to be pivotal in this match. Gomez knew that he needed to win the third set if he wanted to keep his dreams of winning the French Open alive. He put forth a world-class effort to break Andre Agassi and succeeded in serving out the set in the following game. With Gomez now leading by 2-1, the outcome of the match seemed to be inevitable. He would get his chance to break serve early on in the fourth set at 1-all, as Andre played too many balls short to his forehand. Agassi succeeded in saving his first break point, but Gomez took advantage of a badly executed drop shot to set up his second. He seized the moment with a world-class return of serve that would catch Agassi off guard and allow Gomez to work his way forward off of his short reply. After securing the break against Agassi, Gomez would proceed to hold serve, taking the set to 3-1 and putting himself within a few games of winning the French Open. Knowing that he was on the brink of defeat, Andre gave it one last-ditch effort, and to his credit, he was nearly successful, frequently holding 15-30 advantages and even a break point late in the set. Gomez held his nerve and countered each challenge from Agassi with a response of his own. He served for the match at 5-4 in the fourth, and although he lost 2 of the first 3 points in that game, he still managed to recover and successfully put Agassi away, becoming the first Ecuadorian to win a Grand Slam title. In the aftermath of this match, Andre Gomez would go on to win just one more title on the ATP Tour before retiring from pro tennis in 1995. Andre Agassi would falter in his next 2 Grand Slams, losing to Pete Sampras at the US Open and Jim Courier at the French Open the following year. Finally, in 1992, he was able to make his breakthrough at Wimbledon, defeating Goran Ivanisevic in 5 sets. It would take him nearly 10 years to be able to win the French Open, which eventually came in 1999, when he defeated Andrei Medvedev to win his maiden title. Had he played a more patient game and made Gomez work harder to win the first set, it's very likely that he could have had a different outcome. Gomez admitted to feeling tired near the end of the 4th set, and that does lead to some speculation as to whether he could have won the match had it gone the distance. Who knows what the outcome could have been, but one thing is for sure. Andre could have had a career that was on level with Pete Sampras. The results that he had in the early 90s proves that he was right there with him. It would have only taken a little bit more from Andre to have won this match. Thanks again for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, then please feel free to leave me a comment with what you'd like to see next. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again, guys. I will see you at the next one.